So in 2020, our world turned upside down when my daughter came to me and told me she was pregnant. She was terrified. It took her 3 times to get it out because she was sobbing so hard. So I just said to her, I love you. I accept you. I am not judging you. We are going to get through this together. And we held each other and cried, and my world stopped for just a moment. And I asked her, what are you going to do? And she said, I don't know, was her response. And I said, okay, are you ready to be a mom? She said, no, I'm not. And so then began this process of, okay, life is about to move on in this huge way, and I don't know what we're going to do. So I thought, wait a second, Options Pregnancy Center. My mother-in-law used to work there before it was called Options Pregnancy Center, and she volunteered her time. And it was such a huge blessing in her life as well as in the lives of those that she touched. So I called, and the first person to answer the phone was Karen Tameling. Karen? Well, I knew Karen about 30 years prior in Eugene. We had known each other. And I knew right then and there things were going to be okay. Such a peace knowing that Karen, this lovely woman I knew, was going to help us get through this. And so I made an appointment with my daughter. We walked in and had the most lovely interview, no judgment, full acceptance. We looked at some different brochures. We talked about different things that we can do, whether keeping the baby or making an adoption plan. But the best thing about that visit, and the thing I will remember forever, is when we went and got an ultrasound. It was the first time in this situation where I saw this baby, and it was just miraculous to me. And it was the first time in this uncertain situation where I felt celebration. Seeing this baby was all about that baby and about my daughter that was hosting this baby, and how special my daughter was to be doing this and to be making this brave choice to keep this pregnancy and to make a plan, whether it would be to parent this child or to make an adoption plan. It didn't matter in that moment. This was a baby. It was a life that God had created. It was a miracle. So we left Options Pregnancy Center feeling positive, feeling like things are going to be okay. I remember one day asking her, Jaslyn, are you ready to be a mom? And she said, no, I'm not. I said, okay, well, it looks like maybe adoption is the way we need to start thinking. Then out of the blue, I had a woman from my church that messaged me and said, well, I have a couple that lives in a nearby town that my son is best friends with him, and he and his wife have been trying to have children to no avail, and they're looking at adoption, and they're wonderful people. Can I give you their name and number? And I thought, sure, why not? I got a hold of Hank, and he said, well, we would be really interested in talking with you further. And so then I said, and this is such a God thing, I said, Hank, full disclosure, I just want you to know everything up front. But my daughter is on the autism spectrum, and I don't know if it's hereditary or not. I don't know what that means for her unborn child. And his response was so beautiful. He said, well, do you know what I do for a living? And I said, no. He said, I'm a special ed teacher. He said, that absolutely has no bearing on our decision making. Gets me choked up every time. My husband and I and Jaslyn, we met them. They came to our town, and we met at Yogurt Extreme. And for me, it was love at first sight, if there's such a thing, because they're just lovely people, and we hit it off really well. They were so loving towards Jaslyn, so attentive and gentle. The time came, and she said, yes, I would like for them to be the parents of my little baby girl. Our relationship with the adoptive family is God-given, and it is a story of God's wonderful redemption in this situation and in our lives. It is a love story that is still in the process of being written. I am so eternally grateful for this relationship that we have with them. You know, Options has changed so many lives, and I know for us and for me personally, it gave me strength. They were tremendous in, number one, making us feel loved, not judged, cared for. We felt important. And walking in there, I knew that was the first time I felt like it's going to be okay. Just their kindness, so much information, so much support. To have this resource is such a gift. First of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for sacrificing effort and time to come. And I really urge you to prayerfully consider giving to this wonderful organization that was instrumental in changing my perspective of a very difficult situation. I am so forever grateful for them. They have definitely had a fingerprint on my life forever. So thank you, and I really hope that you consider giving tonight.